Okay, today is October 14, 2014. Let's take a look at the Q, the couple scenario on the Q. I know I went through the video on the weekend on a little bit more detail on the spider. So let me do a little bit more on the Q here and get a better look of exactly some of these scenario. First of all, we see there is this trend line here, and it's looked like it's broken down with the support, the support right here, and possibly coming down and maybe attack this trend line and get a bounce. But they also could, get a bounce off of between that, because right now, it also seems to be holding a little bit of a support at this particular pivot level here. So today is kind of tagged that and close right near that particular pivot level. So we might get a little bounce here. And then if we get a bounce, what kind of bounce will we get? Well, there's a couple possibilities, right? The first possibility is that it could just go sideways here and sort of just setting up like a little bit of a flag and then it break down, right? It's like this here. I just kind of do this, maybe do this a little sideways and come down. But that's not going to be the likely scenario, because the market is setting up on a downtrend and it's just going to go and flush, so either going to chop, basically what we're saying, like, fill, flush, fill, and flush, right? So we go down a little bit and then come back up and then go down, quite a bit and that sort of thing. So we probably won't see this kind of a flag. Most likely, if we're going to see any kind of flag, it'd be something like this, right? So then it come down. Okay, so we need to determine what level would that be. Now, there's also the other possibility is as we just, based on that possibility, let's look at that possibility. So where could it bounce up to? Well, there's another pivot level here. Right? We could see that it could bounce up to this particular level here. Okay, so that flag might be able to, come up, maybe come up like this, get a little bounce off of here. All right, so kind of set up a little flag. Let me draw a little bit more of a straighter line. All right, get a little flag like this. All right, then we get a major move and come down, essentially coming down here based on this major move. All right, so probably get down to somewhere around this level near 86, 85 area. Okay. So that's one scenario, that's the flag scenario. Right? And then there's the other scenario is that we just look at, Fibonacci retracement. Okay, so if we take this, and do this, so this 127 somewhere around this 92. Okay, so it's basically just below this pivot, and maybe this particular support here. Probably looking at this little pivot down here. Okay, so that's the other possibility, right? So essentially this particular point here. Right, so that's the 127, and then we also get the 141. Right, that 141 will be basically, up here somewhere. Right, so those are the, so essentially it could just come down and then get a little bounce. So in other words, it might, just go through this, just kind of get, flush down here and then get a little bounce and then come back and then test this particular break, this particular break line here, right, this 93, 94 area, and then come back down. Right? So we could see that kind of scenario, if you believe that we won't get a bounce off of here, that it might have a little bit more downside. So that's the other scenario that we could see. Okay. And so essentially we are looking at these type of different sort of balancing scenario, because you can see that this has been 4 consecutive down day. So it's due for a little bounce here, maybe another day or so, and probably get a bounce. If we get another down day, let's tomorrow we get a down day, then maybe we're just gonna tag this 127 down here at that 92 level, on an intraday basis, and then kind of come back and maybe get a little bit of a doji type of a close here, maybe we get something like this, right? Maybe we could get that and then get a continuation bounce for a couple of days, then hit the resistance here, then we set up this, bear flag and then take it down. Okay, so that's the couple scenario, and you could play around with that. There's a lot of different ways you could, map out. But again, just kind of keep an eye for a possible bounce, since, we're already seeing 4 consecutive days. So, well, this is not a, yeah, this is a down day, so basically a 4 consecutive down day, and it's kind of due for a little bit of a dead cat bounce. Okay, so that's basically my little scenario on what might transpire in the coming days. Good luck.